the question, at least for me, is will they treat any of this not maybe not specifically like a dress rehearsal, but will they determine these are 8 guys, these are 9 guys? How deep will this rotation go, and will we get a preview of that maybe tonight against the Lakers? Right now, it's the Knicks at 3 with the Pistons at 6, and in fact, they're pretty much locked in. Um, the Pistons and the Bucks have 2 more games apiece. Pistons are 2 games back of the Bucks, so in all likelihood, you're going to see the Knicks versus the Pistons. And if you want to call it a playoff preview, last night you can, and the Knicks lost that one. So we're getting close, which means it's getting a little bit more exciting. At at a point in the year, you get kind of tired because the season was going a certain way. You could see the Rockets were going to be very good, and the question of seeding became maybe more talked about than it should because mostly, in my eyes, it's about matchups. The 2 seed was an accomplishment people could lean into, but now, who are you going to play? That's most important, and the Rockets can, I guess, have a say if they cared enough, but it doesn't appear they're going to care.
It would also be such a four-dimensional chess move to try to manipulate this just because they're all so close.
Yeah, why put in the effort? I mean,
Yeah, it's just, or are you better off just hey, let's just rest Van Vliet and anyone else
Alperen.
that's dealing with something.
Yeah, and if
keep it moving.
you need to make up a reason why a guy isn't available, just make sure it's one good enough for the NBA to believe before you catch a fine. And Jalen will likely play the minutes he needs to
play 20
continue to
minutes
qualify
today.
to get his 82 games, and that's cool. But for the rest of those guys, I am interested at maybe not the last game of the year, but will these guys get spot duty against the Lakers? Maybe.
You would think that they would want to play one and not full game playing 40 something minutes, but one game with the full rotation, just because they, by benefit of not being in the play-in, won't play again until Saturday or Sunday next week, just depending on which playoff matchup they get. They're not gonna play until probably Saturday, I'd imagine. So after resting everyone, 2 nights ago against the Clippers, now you're going on it's gonna be over a week where you don't play a real game where the full crew isn't out there. I do wonder if you want not full on old school third preseason game in the NFL dress rehearsal, but have one game where you see what the Thunder are doing, where they're playing Shea and they're playing these guys 24 to 30 minutes.
6-minute spurts at a time.
Yeah,
get
exactly.
them in for 6, and then they can sit and get them in for another 6, and let that be how you handle it.
You can still play Reed Shepherd. You can still go 12 deep, but it's just you are still getting your playoff guys some run. Again, as long as they're not dealing. If normally they would have to play through something like we've heard Fran Van Vliet is, then I'm okay with him sitting. But for guys that are mostly healthy, you're just doing it just to take an easy approach to the last few games this season. I would want one more of these last 2 games where you actually kind of run through the tape.
Yeah, and the question, at least for me, is will they treat any of this maybe not specifically like a dress rehearsal, but will they determine these are 8 guys, these are 9 guys? How deep will this rotation go, and will we get a preview of that maybe tonight against the Lakers? I think the Rockets, without the limitations of back-to-backs that force Tari to miss time, and certainly health always plays a part. Maybe they're a 9-deep team. I'm trying to figure out the guy who's the half man who gets 7 minutes here in a game. It maybe gets to 10 depending on foul trouble.
Probably Adams would be the.
I mean, the double bigs are pretty good.
That is true.
Will they limit that in the playoffs, or will that be one of their main parts of their rotation? The 2 centers, Şengün and Adams. You got Dylan Brooks will play 30 plus as long as he's out of foul trouble. Jalen, you've got Fred and Ahmed. So now you're talking about Jabari and Tari. And do you see a backup guard? Do you see Aaron Holiday for more minutes now that it's playoff time? Probably not. So maybe they go 8-9, maybe 8.5 to 9, depending on the matchup. As far as as far as who gets to play significant time, we'll see. We're not that far away
Yeah,
from figuring that out.
against the Warriors, because that was all hands on deck game. It looks like everyone was healthy for that one. You had your starting five, the normal starting five. Then you had Jabari Smith playing 27, Tari playing 20, Adams playing 17, Holiday playing 11, and then four guys that played 1 minute.
Yeah,
So
at the end of the
I'm
game,
just kind of
probably.
throwing those guys out. So you had Smith, Eason, Adams,
So
Holiday.
that's your eight. You call Aaron your ninth man, but really he's 8.5. Like
Yeah.
depending on how a game is going, he'll get more or less
And
minutes. So
maybe Tate plays more if there's foul trouble
yeah,
among the other wings.
yeah. So I think they have their eight, and then depending on what's going on, you may get a ninth guy for a bit, and so the rotations probably won't be much more than that throughout the playoffs as long as health isn't an issue.